Welcome to another replay of the week. Today we feature Benjer 3, who skillfully uses Maslama and Nevsky against a difficult castle. Benjer 3 also demonstrates how small forces can make a big difference. I'm your host, Queen Matcha, of course. Let's go. Here we see the defender's well-defended layout, which looks difficult to approach. The attacker initiates battle by deploying a group of heavy infantry units. The heavy infantry troop begins to round up the defending cavalry and grenadiers, and turns them around to face the deadly grenadiers. The attacker quickly drops Teutonic Knights on the defending grenadiers. Teutonic Knights are not only fantastic tanks, but their damage output is very high. After wiping out the grenadiers, they turn around to face the cavalry units, but instead of using them just for damage output, the attacker brings composite bowmen to DPS as well. The attacker orders more composite bowmen to shoot down the grenadiers on the wall. As you know, bowmen are great against troops on the walls. The bowmen effortlessly attack the next grenadiers without taking any damage. Using grenadiers against grenadiers is also a good cost-effective tactic as there are less grenadiers on the wall. A ram appears and slowly moves its way towards the keep for the ultimate showdown. Until then, composite bowmen and grenadiers begin to loot from the farms nearby. The attacker patiently spawns more units. Here we can see heavy infantry soldiers followed by trebuchets. The order of units spawned is very important as tankier units should go first, followed by DPS units. As the attacker demonstrates, if certain units are still catching up, you should have your other units wait by having them attack one of the walls. Nevsky enters the battle scene as well, soon followed by heavy infantry soldiers and Teutonic Knights. Slow, but steady. When the units are near the defender's castle, Maslama is summoned as the final hero. While Nevsky's Scorched Earth burns the Grenadiers, Archer Tower, and the catapult emplacement, Saladin Smoke protects the attacker's units from incoming shots from the towers and emplacement. You can tell that the units are protected by the glowing white dots on them. While they are not protected from melee and fire damage, they are shielded from other ranged attacks. Unfortunately, Nevsky does go down from a ballista shot before the second smoke ability is activated. But that does not deter the attacker from dismantling the towers. The Archer Tower collapses, then the ballista tower here. The third smoke is triggered to protect the Teutonic Knights that are going to finish the ballista tower and the ram that is going to distract the treb emplacement here. At the bottom right side, a treb is spawned which activates a hidden engineer trap. Memlugs come to the rescue, who take out the engineers within a second. Going back to the main action, the Teutonic Knights that were attacking the flame tower burn to crisp, which frees up the defending grenadiers from the guardhouse to move forward towards Maslama. Reacting instantly, Maslama's fourth smoke goes off, covering his units safe from the treb emplacement and the grenadiers. This allows time for the attacker's treb to finish off the flame tower. It moves to destroy the crossbow tower here, and targets the trebuchet emplacement next, which is distracted by the attacker's zigzagging grenadier. The treb successfully removes the danger of the defending treb and begins to demolish the keep. The other trebs are busy dismantling other buildings, which I will show you. Treb number 2 wipes out the remaining guardhouse to prevent further troops from coming out. Unfortunately, it shatters along with the guardhouse due to the Archer Tower. Meanwhile, trap number 3 moves forward to disable the Archer Tower on the right as the heavy infantry units tank. The attacker has been constantly deploying small number of units throughout the game, which is a great tactical strategy to remember. When too many units are deployed all at once, it is more difficult to manage them. Small forces really make a strong impact. By the way, have you noticed that these buildings are in rubbles? This is because the attacker has been constantly using grenadiers and mumlugs to bring them down. It may not look much right now with Benjer 3 at 50% victory, but you will soon see that every little thing counts. The attacker decides to attack from the top to finish the other half of the defender's castle. There is a spawn zone here, but the attacker knew this is too good to be true. To test it out, the attacker deploys a group of heavy infantry units. Indeed, there was a fire trap. Good thing the attacker laid out a test troop to make sure. Now we wait for the fire to go out. But in the meantime, the attacker's bowmen shoot down the buildings between the walls. Another group of heavy infantry units begin to destroy the ballista, followed by the Grenadiers, who were unable to bring it down completely. But that's okay, because the attackers spawn more units once the fire goes out. More infantry soldiers are deployed to loot from a nearby mill. Then the Knight Templars are ordered to finish an unfinished business, the ballista tower. The Templars move on to the Archer Tower as the final Treb appears in the spawn zone, taking down the tower ASAP. Once the Teutonic Knights arrive near the Archer Tower, the attacker switches the Treb's target to the storehouse, then the catapult emplacement, and the lumberyard, giving the attacker an 80% victory. But how did the attacker go from 50% to 80%, you may ask? We'll have to go back a bit. Earlier, the attacker began to bring down the buildings between the walls using the Grenadiers and Teutonic Knights. Even just using one squad of Grenadiers was enough to do a steady stream of damage to the defender. Over here, we can see that the Mamluks are doing the same thing with the Cathedral, followed by Archer Range, Hall of Heroes, and the Quarry, granting the attacker extra victory percentage. Yet again, Mamluks are deployed here and here, who give the final boost to the attacker's victory. As you will see, the win percentage jumps up quite a bit. Benjer 3's superb usage Maslama and Nevsky impresses us, as well as Benjer 3's various defensive tactics against one of the most feared units, the Grenadiers. Thank you for watching our replay of the week. Check us out again next Thursday for another exciting replay of the week. Until then, keep on sieging!